So how to prevent cold and flu as we move into the season where respiratory illnesses become more common? One of the best things you can do is hand washing and using proper hygiene and limiting the spread of cold and flu.
Particularly for flu, vaccines are safe and effective and reduce the likelihood of you catching the disease. It also reduces the likelihood that you will spread the disease. Even those who are vaccinated and become infected typically will have a shorter course. I would add, despite some common misperceptions, you cannot get influenza from a flu vaccine.
First thing I would advise is any worsening in the symptoms such as shortness of breath, increasing pain, high fevers for a long period of time, altered mental status, you don't feel like yourself, fatigue, any of those symptoms should seek medical care to see if everything is okay or if you need additional support.
I can't do better than that. I would say one of the most important things to do is if you are caring for someone who falls into that category, try to minimize their exposure to people who are ill or potentially ill. The disease has to come from someone. You don't just develop it spontaneously. And so if you find that you have a fever, you have a cough, or you have a cold, that's probably not the best day to go visit your grandmother.
I would additionally add on, if you do have elderly family members or you are an elderly person who ends up acquiring a cold or an illness, seeking medical care for the signs such as shortness of breath, chest pain, to look for pneumonia, sepsis. Those are all medical illnesses that you need medical care for. You should see your doctor as soon as you can. So one of the most common cold and flu misconceptions that we as physicians encounter is the use of antibiotic to shorten the duration of a cold and flu. That is a very common misconception and completely not true. Antibiotics do not assist in reducing the duration of the symptoms. Most cold and flu are viral illnesses that run a course of as short as 5 days, as long as 10 to 14 days. That is the typical cold and flu duration.
I would reiterate some points that we've already made, that you do have the ability to minimize the likelihood of getting the illness, the good hand hygiene, the appropriate isolation when you have the disease, and again, to repeat, vaccination is safe and effective.
And wearing masks if you're around other family members or members of the society that you want to prevent the spread of the cold and flu.